it again. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully I sound nice and clear. And maybe you can still hear some music. Omega, yo, on my way to get my COVID shot. LOL. Don't let me interrupt or distract you, though. You're not interrupting or distracting either one. You're all welcome here. You especially, of course. You're the one that helped me put the logo that's front and center on the screen, so I would be really a crummy person if I thought that you were if I said you were distracting. So, there we go. Now I'm going to turn the music so I can't hear the music on. 1 second. Let me adjust the microphone so hopefully you guys can hear me a little better. There we go. It looks like the audio levels are fairly solid, and you should be able to hear some nice music. So I made a post. Excuse me. I made a post yesterday saying that I really had enjoyed doing Shuffle Sesh. I know I did it a week or so ago. And typically would do it on the Mechanos Cards channel. However, I have some pro streamer stuff, not equipment, but accounts, and the accounts tie only to that one thing. So AR says, "Hey all, hey AR, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it." Heavy Waves, no, it's okay, Retro. He definitely is distracting. No, he's great. It's and going on his way to get his COVID shot. Very nice. By the way, hi. Oh, hi. You said hi too. Yeah. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone's having a great day. Real quick, I can't on my side tell. Please do me the favor, if you don't mind, of letting me know that you can hear me okay and the sound's nice and clear and the music is still playing, hopefully in the background. Little audio trick: if you have potentially loud fan noise or something in the background, you can turn a little bit of music up. I don't have a noise gate on it, so how you doing, man? I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty well. It has been a super busy couple of days, and it's been awesome. Sounds all good. Good. Okay. No hissing. No nasty. Okay. Good. I have a fan running. It's super hot today. Super muggy. It rained all day, all night, and now here we are, and it's like 98 or something. I don't know. So it's pretty hot. Anyway, so I've got a fan running, and I didn't noise gate because I noticed last time it was cutting my music off. So I'm hoping that you guys can hear me okay. But all right, perfect. Yeah. So I put a post out saying I wanted to do another shuffle sesh. I really enjoyed. Music's good. Hello. I had to change chat to live chat. Yeah, I did this. I learned that too. It's weird how that works, but there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I appreciate everybody for stopping in and coming by. Yeah, so I had a blast doing Shuffle Sesh, and I have my Streamlabs and some of the stuff I have is pro, and it ties to the account. So rather than pay another 20 or however many dollars it is a month on doing it on my second account, I said, well, you know what, I'll stream with all the bells and whistles on this channel, and then I can just migrate it over. So side note, if you make comments on the video post after we get done with it here, I'm not deleting those comments. It's just they get lost when I migrate it over. So but muggy weather sucks. I hate it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and so we don't get rain often in Texas, but we do get the hot stuff. I mean, it's not uncommon in summer to be 100 between 105 and 115 any given summer day. So it's pretty hot down here. But the rain is nice if I have to, a day of muggy weather because of I'm a little bit more okay. I'm going to move this over, and you guys are going to see a little bit of the behind the scenes, and then I'll kind of do my thing. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. I think it's this button. Should be able to see. Nice little, well. I don't think you guys can see me. And I'm curious as to why. Let me take a look really quick. I'm having a little bit of a technical issue, so my apologies. Let's try this again. We'll just blind to that one. And we'll go to this one. So my apologies. I am trying a new trying to do a new type of capture device because there's latency in the other one. So I wanted you guys to hopefully be able to see me a little bit better. I see darkness. Yeah, sorry about that. It's I had it set up beforehand. I'm trying a little bit different. Turn on the light. We can't see you. Yeah, hold 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm trying a different capture device because I was noticing that there was a delay last time, and it made it very difficult for me to do it to keep everything together. But I think I'm going to, if this doesn't work, I can always just plug straight back into that, and that'll take me just a second. So let's go ahead and get rid of this, and we'll just add something else. Yeah, sorry for the technical issues. I actually had this all sorted out ahead of time, and then it just seemed like it didn't want to work. Which cards am I using? Yeah, I'll actually get to show you that. I'm a little excited to show some of these off because some of these I haven't really gotten to use. So I will show you in just 1 second. My apologies. Always. I'll be in and out, just letting you know. Take your time. We all have technical. Thank you very much. Yeah, no worries. I mean, I understand everybody's got stuff to do, so I just appreciate you for having stopped in. All right. If I go here, and if I go here, and boop-a-doo, let's just try and refresh the device. Okay, well, I'm not sure what's going on, so I'll put on the delayed one. At least it plays. So if you'll give me just 1 second, I'll go back to the is it pause screen that yeah. I'll go to the pause screen and give me just 1 second, and I'll just get that fixed. I'm sorry about that, guys. 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add it live. So 1 second. We'll go to let's see. Just pulled into the clinic's parking lot. I was driving, therefore incapable of responding or defending myself. Well, that's okay. Well, hopefully to say nothing that needs defense against. At the moment, I'm probably the one who has a bit of an issue. So let's do this. Let's do that, and then I should be able to do. Let's do this. I think will work, and then this. And then will that do it for me?
What you have is nothing more than a system of wires and circuits. It can show feelings only to the extent of which you program it to. It will be your friend, no more than the table you built it on will be.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Think that'll be
I
good.
think that'll be good.
Boom.
Boom.
Okay, this is so I can
This
see.
is so I can see.
But I'm going to do a thing
But
I
I'm
like
gonna
to
do a
do.
thing I like to
prefer
do.
to do.
Prefer to do.
Music.
Oh. I bet you're right. Let's see.
Okay. So everything, as far as I can see, is silenced. Do I still have an echo? Everything appears to be cool now. No echo? Cool. Okay. Music and mic are working. Okay, good, good. There. Let's make... I think that's all good. Okay, good. Music and mic are working. No echo. That makes me happy. There shouldn't be any echo, hopefully. Turn a couple of the loops off there. Can I hear okay? Yeah. Oh, good. Okay, cool. Sorry about that issue. My goodness, there was all kinds of... So, yeah, so I had a cam link that I was trying out, but it looked like the cam link didn't work out for me the way that I needed it or wanted it to. And I don't know where the echo came from. Maybe something was looping. But anyway, sorry about that. So sorry about that. All right. Shoo. Goodness. So I made a mention that I wanted to do a shuffle sesh because I have a ton of fun. Messing around with the cards. It's really nice to be able to perform. And it's a lot of fun, and so it's just something I really enjoy getting to do. I have some pro stuff in terms of Streamlabs and other things that won't allow me to do my stuff over on Meccano's cards. So that's the reason I'm doing it here. I get all the nice fancy overlays and the nice fancy music and all that kind of stuff for now, and then I can move it over to Meccano's later, and I think I'm going to probably try and make a setup for that as well. But for now, since I don't have it, I figured that might be a little nicer. So, all right. Well, so sorry, but super sorry for everybody who had to, sit through 10 minutes of issue. I appreciate you for having been patient with me. If you're still here, and if you're not, that's okay too. I appreciate you for having stopped in. So for anybody, first and foremostly, for anybody who is interested in seeing this particular performance and learning a couple of things and just having conversation, plus obviously Q&A, I'm definitely excited about the potential for that. I'm hoping that there will be questions and answers and all that kind of good stuff. And then secondly, if you are in a more gaming mood and you're interested in watching gameplay, I obviously am not live doing gameplay right now, but you can... if you want, and this is of course not any obligation, but you're absolutely welcome to go check out my beautiful wife's channel over at Anna Strader or Anna Strader Gaming on Twitch. So Anna Strader Gaming, twitch.twitch.tv or twitch.tv, something like that. But if you go to Twitch, you search Anna Strader Gaming. She is streaming a really fun game that she really likes there. And so if you get a chance and you happen to hear this, maybe stop by, say hi if you're interested in it. All right, so Heavy Waves, to answer your question, I am going to be using a couple of different decks today, and I'll explain which ones I'm using. So for the Monte design, I'm going to be using a pack of Mavericks. Mavericks are very inexpensive cards by Hoyle. They're about $1 a pop down here. And I'm only going to be using 3 cards, obviously, from them, which are these 3 here. 2 queens and an ace, and I'm going to go through the entire 3-card Monte Hustle, as well as my own variations on the theme. I'll do that in a minute. I appreciate the smiley face. I like the smiley face, Omega. That's makes me feel good, because I know a lot of people. I understand it's not comfortable. I understand that issues happen, but it's so nice to see people that are, hey, it's okay, kind of thing. And maybe that's not what the smiley face is for, but it did make me feel better. So, thank you. So Mavericks, I'll be doing that in the 3-card Monte Hustle. This pack of cards right here, this is an interesting pack of cards that I'm interested in showcasing, and it looks like a normal pack of bicycles. These are what we'd call shavers or strippers, and I'm gonna show these off, because I think this is these are one of my favorite cheating tools. And by the way, I'm not proposing cheat in any games, but if you're doing like a demonstration, this is a lot of fun in my opinion. So, and the point is that they do look like regular bicycle cards. Front and back. Okay, and so I'm gonna get to show these off. These are really, really cool. This is actually a really nice deck of shavers. I want to get a thanks for sure. No, thank you. You're going out there and doing stuff in the world, and I'm sitting here being a doofus, and you've been very encouraging despite the fact that I was having trouble even whilst being a doofus, so I really appreciate that. Alright, so this is yeah, these are shavers or strippers. And like I said, I'll show these off in just a second. Packs of cards to answer heavy waves that I'm going to be using for some of the demonstrations, with the exception of the 3-card Monte demonstration, are these 2 packs. And these are 2 packs I don't get to use very often, which I'm super excited about. So I'm going to give some nerd specs and show them off, and then I'm going to demonstrate why I like them so much. I'll start with these. These are the Chris Ramsey / Daniel Madison collab project known as the Knights. These are awesome. I really like these, truly. And so these are on B9 Cardamundi stock. Real nice, thick, smooth stock. And you can't tell because they're grayscale, but they are blue backs. And then the fronts are really nice. But these are super... This is what luxury cards should feel like. These are beautiful. And if you can see, the backs here are these little chess pieces in these random arrays. And then the fronts are just, regular fronts for the most part. These are ungimmicked. They are technically marked for suit, but I won't explain the marking system. 21 Sandwich, this is pretty cool. Hey, thanks 21. Thanks for stopping in. If I can be completely fair, I mean, this is one thing. I'm gonna say this is probably the one thing that I find myself to have any level of skill in. And so I like to perform, and not skill in terms of, aha, I'm good at it, but more in terms of, I feel like I'm good enough to perform and hopefully get people to smile. I jump into video game arena, and you show me up with NDRs left and right, though, so I appreciate the compliment, but, I mean, what you do is cool. This is just fun, and hopefully you get a smile from it. Okay, so these are Knights. The reason I'm picking these particular ones these are bordered cards. There's a little border here. The other cards I'll be using, which are my full bleed cards. These are the Daniel Madison dealers, and these are Erdnase green, which is in my opinion the classiest color for a pack of cards. And they're casino style full bleed, which means they don't have borders on the edge. And I'll show you why that's good. I kind of explained it, but I'll go back over it just real quick. So say I have the Ace of Spade here, and I want to play a poker game. If I decide I want to take this and I want to deal off a couple of cards for a second, technically I dealt 5 cards. The Ace of Spades should be down there on the bottom, but it isn't. I have it right here. Full bleed makes that much harder to detect. That's called dealing seconds, by the way. So yet again, shuffle, cut, maybe another cut, whoops. And then I have the Ace of Spade here. And assuming, we'll just do it in stack real quick. I'll do some warm-up demonstration stuff, and so 1 second. Yeah, I have done cards in a amateur, semi-professional, and professional arena over the past I don't know, maybe 12 years, 10 years for sure, but maybe 12. I've played with cards as a hobbyist for almost the past 30 years, so I'm definitely an enthusiast, although I'm not the most skilled in the world by a long shot. So, all right. So in this case, I'm going to we'll take the jokers out. Poor Charlie. For anybody who doesn't know, one of the things I do want to do on this channel, I'm hoping to eventually do is kind of a look at and a like a let's react to other card people that are also really skilled and talented. And one of them is this guy right here, which is Daniel Madison. That's his bird Charlie. It's kind of a sad joker, but okay. So this is what I'm gonna go for here. Show you the pack is pretty mixed, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix it. And I think what I'm gonna go for, I'm gonna try to do bullets, which are 2 aces, pocket aces. If you're familiar with the Texas Hold'em rules of Texas Hold'em. And I'm going to do 5 card hands, or 5 hands. So I take the cards, I'm going to give them a shuffle there, shuffle here, and then I'm going to give them some box shuffle up the ladder style cuts, and then maybe a shuffle there. And I'm going to aim for ace of spade, ace of diamonds maybe? I might do ace of hearts, we'll see. But 2 aces here, everybody else will get something else. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the ace of spade for me. And then typically we would burn a card here, and then we'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's my ace of diamonds, and then we would burn a card again, and we'd hit the river. So there's a cheating little move there, and I'll show you 5, 6 here, king 8, king 4. You know, nothing really impressive right off the bat, and that just gives me a slight advantage if I knew what was coming up. You see, in this case, I would. Looks like I would win. Yeah, I'd have aces and 7s. So these other guys wouldn't. So yeah, neat little cheaty technique right there. I did. So for anybody who is curious, I'll also throw this out there. I love performing for people. I also love, if you're a card player, I also love showing you how you could be getting cheated. If you're playing in the casinos, it's probably pretty safe. If you're not, if you're playing in private games where people like myself are allowed to shuffle, probably a little less safe. And if you're looking for just little quick doses, I'm going to turn the music off in my headset. You guys should still be able to hear it, but it was hard for me to speak. So if you guys are interested in taking a look at some of the cheaty techniques that I use, I'm trying to put them up in on Mechanos Cards. But if you have TikTok, I'm also on TikTok as Mechanos Cards. And I'm looking to show little cheaty techniques. I did upload a video on TikTok today. It'll go up on YouTube later about mucking, which is another really dirty, cheaty thing to do. And mucking is just the act of... I'm going to do a 1-card muck. On the actual video, I do a 2-card muck. You make it look so easy. It's terrifying. It's just a lot of practice. It is a lot of practice, but once you get somebody that has a little bit of skill, it's very dangerous because you could lose a lot of money. But thank you so much. I love doing this. My thing about it, I want to say this first. I mean, I love helping people be protected from stuff like this, but I also just love performing for people. Like I said, this makes a lot of people smile, and even if they know how I do it, it seems to be something that makes people smile. So that's what I really like, is the performance part. So I'm glad you like it. Stick to legit casinos. Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's a lot of, I'll show this really quick. So in a private game, this is called mucking. So normally I'd have we'll do, hey, let's see if I can, we'll see if I can do 2 here. I'll throw out a, that's a 3-5. That's a pretty useless hand there, right? This is probably a hand you'd fold. You would probably not pay to see community cards minus the blinds on this. And so the idea of mucking is you have a garbage hand like this, and you would have what we'd call lapped cards. And then what you do basically is, as you come up, I'm showing you guys these cards. But normally you'd have these cards here. These are your whole cards. And what you would do is you'd come up and you'd start to peek those cards, and then you'd flip those cards over like that, and you'd put your hands back. And that's called mucking. And you can see where I've actually switched these out for aces. So you absolutely, mucking is a real thing. It happens. It can happen in legit casinos. To get away with mucking, that's typically where you'd have that's why they have kind of the raised little bumper in the back with the cup holders in it, is to keep people from doing the next piece of what you would do with a muck, which is called lapping. So these are not trick cards or anything like that, and I only have 2 here. So yeah, that's called mucking, and it's usually done really quickly. I did it very slowly, but you can definitely do it very quickly. I had a window there, but you can definitely do it really quickly. If you have this here, you can come up and turn it over like that, and it definitely looks a lot more impressive. And the ace is here. I'm not. There's no secret to this. This is a cheating technique, not a magic trick. So so I have the ace in hand. For example, in this case, I have ace, the ace of diamonds and a 5, and let's say I lapped this from a previous round. So this is called lapping, is pushing it into my lap. This is palming, which is pushing it into my palm. And then I come back up and I think, okay, ace 5 is a pretty strong hand, but I want a safe bet. I come back up like this. As I do that, I drop the 5, and then I come back out like this, and I flip these over, and I keep the 5. But it doesn't. So I have that here, and then I would try to come and basically switch it out. So see if I can do it with a 1-card muck here. So I have my hand here. Pick up the community card, switch it out, flip them over, aces, 5s here. So it's hard to do a one. You usually wouldn't do a single-handed muck. You'd do a 2-handed muck, but still. So 2 cards here. They're in my hole here. They're in the hole cards. So I have these cards here. These are palmed. You don't want what's called windows, which is this. So you're going to keep it in a nice tight palm, hands in a natural position. 3-5 here. Peek the whole cards, flip over the aces, muck. It's done that quickly. It's a very, very quick cheat. And my 3-5 garbage hands right here. And you would still keep these cards, and the reason you'd keep those cards is because, let's say on the draw here, let's say I got a 9-5, right? Bullets are back in the pack. Then I would probably scoop my chair up or something, and I would have this 5 here. And then what happens is, yet again, I come back in. If I want to do a 1-card muck, I'd come back in like this. Whoops, let's try that again. That was an awful muck. Sorry. But I'd come in, I have this 9-5, and I'd come in with this, and I'd muck out the 9, and I'd have pocket 5s now. And I'd muck this 9 for later, and then maybe the next hand I'd get a 9-8 or something, and I'd muck for pocket 9. So there's a lot of ways you can do that. Other side of the spectrum, too, is let's say I had this 5-9 right here. I might have, let's say I just lapped the 3, same situation. So I've got 5-9 here, 5-9, come up like this, turn them over. Now I've got 3-5, but they're of suit, so I've got flush potential there if I've got good community cards. So that's called mucking. That's definitely a private game technique you don't want to, you want to keep your eye on. So sticking to legit casinos, though, you made mention of that. That's actually a really interesting thing. So casinos are, yes, they're legit, but boy, they are absolutely, they're tricky. They're tricky little buggers too, because I'm doing something. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to hold my hand just like this, and if you're interested in giving a response, then please do. I'm going to ask the question anyway, and give a couple seconds. But I am doing something right now. My hands are here. My hands are empty. I'm doing something right now that is frowned upon in a casino, and I'm curious as to if you might know what that is. Now, this doesn't count. Obviously, extra packs of cards at the table are not allowed. Jokers aren't in the packs, and you wouldn't have a computer mouse. But apart from that, I'm doing something right now, just like this, that is kind of frowned upon in a casino. I'm curious as to if anybody can spot it. I'll leave a blank space because I figure some people that see this afterwards, even if you guys don't particularly want to try the answer, that's okay too. But I think some people that see after may want to try that as well. So I'm going to give a couple seconds. Is anyone spotting it? Now I'll let you know. My hands being empty are okay. Nothing is up my sleeves. Nothing there. Hands just being down like this. This is actually a pretty comfortable dealer position, by the way, with the pack like this. So. If you don't know, if you didn't catch it, the thing that you're encouraged not to do when you're in a casino is wear a watch. Casinos don't like people that are at the tables having any concept of time. That's why they don't have clocks in there. But even as a dealer, even if you have a nice watch, this was a gift, so it's a watch that I like. I don't know. Hello. That's okay. That's all right. I want to leave a blank space, not just for participants here, but when I upload the video as an archive, I want maybe some people that are a little bit adventurous to be able to guess there as well. So, so no worries, no worries. But I appreciate you for for letting me know that too. They don't want you to wear a watch. They don't want your sense of time to be all that good. They don't. Casinos are built to disorientate you in terms of time and in terms of locations and all kinds of stuff. So casinos are pretty dirty too, honestly, when it comes to the psychology of them. But when it comes to cheating, you're not going to find a lot of that. Now you'll find some second. I'll show you this. Actually, I'll show you this. I'll kind of deal it out. This is not. This may take me just a second, so I'll kind of talk about it. But yeah, you're discouraged. Typically, if you're going to be dealing or if you're going to be a member of staff, not all the time. Sometimes pit bosses, you'll catch them wearing a really nice. Pit bosses get paid decently well, so you usually you'll find them when they're out and about. You might find them wearing like a gold Rolex or something really nice like that. But yeah, usually they don't want you to wear a watch if you're staffed on there, especially if it's a profession within the casino where they're going to be looking at your hands and wrists. They don't want you to have any sort of concept of time. They want you to get stuck in there, and that's why you don't find a lot of windows in there either. So I'll show you this. This is kind of a dirty. This takes just a second because I didn't think about it, and I usually have a pack that's set up for it, but I didn't think about it, so I'll just demonstrate it once or twice here. So I'm going to put this in new deck order. So new deck order starts with hearts. Let's do it quick. Starts with ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. So the hearts are in order, king on top. Then we go to clubs, same situation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, queen, king. Okay, those are ordered. Those go on top of the hearts. And then we're going to go backwards. So it's queen, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace. And these two kings are going to touch. These are called the kissing kings in the pack. And then we go back with this one as well. So same situation. King, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the ace of spades. Okay, so the pack is now what we would call new deck order. Okay, new deck order, ace through king heart, ace through king's clubs, king through ace of diamonds, and king through ace of spades. So this is what I'm about to do is called a blind shuffle, a blinds sequence. And this is a dirty private game trick. This is a dirty casino trick too, if you ever get into a game where a person can have the cards in their hand. Usually that's not the case nowadays, but it definitely was back in the day. So we're new deck stack. So this is what I'd call it. This is called a blind sequence shuffle. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a pack one shuffle. And then I'll try and pull it apart as best as I can. Whoops. Two shuffles. Let's try that again. I think I want to do this in full sequence here, so let's try something again here. Put those back in order. Back was checking in. LOL. Oh, no worries. All right, let's try this one more time. I got my fingernails caught on the mat, and boy, that gives me the that feels awful. Okay, so sequence is shuffle, shuffle. Okay. Then typically what you'll do in this case is you will set the cards on top, and you'll do these sets of box shuffles or up the ladder cuts, and then you'll give the pack one more shuffle, and you'll cut it off to the side. Now typically you'll cut it on what's called a cut card. So had gotten my fingernails caught on the mat, which is a little bit, I don't have very many, but still. So you guys see shuffle, shuffle, cuts, shuffle. And if you take a peek, the deck is absolutely still in new deck order. There was no point in time where that pack was actually really even out of order. And that's casino procedure too, is to shuffle, shuffle, cut, shuffle. So typically what you'll have is I'll pull one. There's actually one in the pack here. You'll have a card like this, which is it's either a plastic card or you'll have a card that's we call them a double backer, which means it has the back design on both sides. And you'll have it off to the side as a cut card, and that's so people don't see the bottom, which in this case the ace of spades. And so the routine is shuffle, shuffle, and then you'll cut, and then you'll shuffle again, and then you'll cut over to the cut card like that. And so when you start to deal, they can't see the bottom card either. But the trick of it is, even though I can't see the pack, I can still see the deck is in perfect order. So, if you are another thing to keep in mind too is if you're looking to cheat, if you're looking to be a card mechanic, you don't want your stuff to look clean. You don't want your stuff to look clean and perfect because you want to blend in with everybody. So any shuffle can be cheated. So if you walk up to a table, and yet again, I'm not encouraging cheating. Now, I definitely, if you're at a table full of cheaters, I encourage cheating cheaters for sure. But if you're playing an honest game, you know, and for money, don't cheat people out of money. But any shuffle can be cheated. So if you see, this is an amateur shuffle, very, very ineffective way of mixing the cards, called the crazy. This is a very, very ineffective way of moving the cards. We call it, and I apologize, you'll see some shakiness. That's because of the table. But this is what we would call a overhand shuffle. I'm going to do a version. If you see people shuffling like that at the table, that's a great thing. You can absolutely take advantage of. So I'm going to do it really quickly. So this is just demonstrations. Some of the demonstrations I got to do last time. Some of them I didn't get to do, so it's kind of nice to get to do this. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the overhand shuffle. I'm going to use a very sloppy overhand shuffle, and just to start out, I'm going to give it the riffle shuffle. Okay. So I don't have an idea of what order everything's in, but I'm pretty sure I can do this. If I take the pack like this, and I'm going to just use a sloppy overhand shuffle just like this, and we'll do it again. And we'll give it a cut. That's typically what would happen. That looks pretty sloppy, but I actually was able to keep control of the 4 aces. And just so you can see, I don't use any sort of gimmicks here. That's all I have. No additional aces or anything. And there's nothing on the back to tell me what are aces. So even though it's a sloppy shuffle there, I can still keep control of those aces. I did a thing on this too. This is another piece of it, which is probably not going to be perfect, but that I take the 4 aces here. I'll put 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll spread those so you can kind of see they're a little bit spaced out there. And we use a special technique in this particular instance here. So in this one, if I decided to, I could push like this, and I'll try to do it as best as I can to demonstrate. Let's try that again, because I don't like those were kind of close. So let's try it again. Whoops, pull the king out. We'll do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a little bit more spread out. There we go. There we go. Cool. Okay, so now what you would do in this case is you'd have the pack and you'd basically pull them into a cut. Just a series of cuts. Let's try this. Nice and sloppy. Doesn't look like I know what I'm doing. I walk up to the table, I shuffle like that. Anybody that's been playing cards for any length of time is going to sit there and go, oh, this guy's an amateur. But I actually still have all 4 aces, and yet again, no tricks, no gimmicks, nothing like that. So it's really crazy the amount of card retention that can be done in a that's the thing. A card mechanic wants to blend in. He can do it with your pack of cards. And I think Martin Nash, one of my favorite card cheats, used to say, I can do it with your pack of cards and for your paycheck. And so that's exactly the case. So same thing with a single card retention. Yeah, I think I've shown this, but if I fan the pack out, if I take this card and I put it right about halfway down, okay, and I push it back into the pack, right, and I cut the pack just like that, come back up, square the cards, give them a mix. And I want you to see I'm not cheating here, okay? Put those cards back on the top. Give the pack a series of what we call up the ladder cuts, like this. Shuffle. shuffle, and then we can give it some up the ladder cuts, and we'll shuffle. Okay, so that's normally what you would do. That's the normal casino procedure. You normally would cut too, so I'll cut once. Okay, square the pack up. I'll show you really quickly. It's not the bottom card. I'll also show you it's not the top card. But if I take the pack and I give it a cut just like this, I can cut straight to the card I need, wherever that might be. So it's just a tricky way to do things. It was a lot of fun though, a lot of fun to do that. And the other way I showed, I think, was culling, which I think was, I'll demonstrate that again because I have fun with these kinds of demonstrations. So, and culling is never, which I advise this. If you're ever playing poker of any kind of game, don't let the guy that's dealing, or if he's going to hold the cards, don't let him look at the cards. Don't let him look at the faces, because here, let's do this. Let's take out the ace of diamonds and the ace of clubs. Okay, so there's only one ace in the pack. We know aces are high cards, but we're going to take those out. So we only have the ace of hearts left. Wherever that ace of hearts is, I'm going to put it pretty well in the dead middle. So I can see it's where it is. It's right here. So I'm going to take the ace of hearts. I'm going to put it in the dead center of the pack. Right here. Okay. And that is a perfect square. Nothing's, it's crazy how seamlessly you do it. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, if you here's the thing. If you ever decide you want to do this at a table where they're playing for money, you got to be seamless, because you'll otherwise get hurt. I'm saying this is really impressive. Well, thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. My hope is, I really appreciate that, but I hope you guys are enjoying the performance altogether. It's just, these are real cheats and real techniques, but I'm just hoping you guys are having fun with it too. And I very much say thank you for that, for both of those compliments. So you don't want people to, this is one that'll get you, but you don't want people to look at the faces of the cards, because if I look at the faces of the cards, I might be able to memorize something. Excuse me. But if I take a look at something like, for example, as I'm going through the cards kind of sloppily, and I kind of do this, and you see I can see that ace of hearts, right? As I see that ace of hearts and I continue to kind of go through the cards, and I square the pack back up, that's the ace of hearts right there. So one more time, put it in the middle, right about there, push it in, square it up. If he gets the chance, the dealer gets the chance to look through the cards, even just remotely, and he sees that ace, he gets to go through it and he says, okay, I know the position, right? He turns the pack over, and the ace is on top. This is a technique called culling. It's very dirty and typically pretty seamless. So if you ever see someone looking through the cards, even if it doesn't look like they've changed the order of it, definitely have you make them not shuffle the cards, because what they can do is, after they've culled the card, which is here now, they can just do what we call stock shuffles. So most of those were stock shuffles, which means I didn't shuffle this one card. The rest of the cards are legitimately being shuffled, but this card right here wasn't in that case. And they can keep that card for later if they want to. And what they can do with that, once it's up there, after they've done the shuffles, is they can deal seconds again. So yet again, you said the ace is on top right here. I don't have any extra aces of hearts in here. You say, okay, well, we're going to play 3 people, yourself included. I say, okay, whoops, let me get rid of these really quickly. I guess I should. That's not, by the way, an ace, but you say 3 people. I say, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 3 people including myself. I can't math with, really? 3 people including myself would just be 3 people. My goodness, come on, me. Celestial, welcome into the stream. I'm sorry, this is I know this. I tried to put it up so it's not too off-putting, but I do this a lot, and I couldn't do it on my Mechanos Cards channel because I don't have all the fancy streaming subscription stuff. So thank you so much for stopping in and saying hi. And I don't know if she's still going, but yet again, if you guys are in, oops, there we go. If you guys do get a chance, and you're like, hey, you like the card thing, great. If you're in a game mood, I made the mention of that. I think Celestial, I think you're actually not subscribed, following her, but my gorgeous wife Anna is doing some really cool video games, or was doing some very cool video game streams. So if you're in a gamey mood, she's doing that, and if you're in an odd mood, definitely stay here and watch me do some weird stuff. Either way. In conclusion, if your dealer is in black and white, be careful. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the thing. So I'll do this. Let me go ahead and put these back in the pack here. So I'll show you this. This is a very cheaty way. So the aces are in the middle here. I'm doing it intentionally not to get it. Yeah, if your dealer's in black and white, he's a noir dealer. He knows what he's. I'm just. The black and white's an artistic choice, but so we have ace of hearts here, and I'm just going to deal. And you could say stop anywhere. I'll say stop. And ace of hearts is still there. So if I do this, you can see there's ace of diamonds, but you can actually see that I didn't deal the ace of hearts the whole time. So if I'm holding on to a card. So especially if I'm doing it in ace of, I'll do it face up. If I deal like that, you can see I can deal anywhere on the table like that and face down. So one more time. This time I'll do it with me included. It looks like that. And then if I have another card that I want in stack, we'll say this is Blackjack, right? So we'll do Blackjack. Let's do Blackjack. We'll do 2, 3. Let's just do 5. Okay. Exactly. Noir dealers are dangerous. Yeah, I know. I like the aesthetic. I apologize. I know it's a little weird, but I like the aesthetic of the black and white. It's not original, but I just think there's something classy about it. So, but thank you very much. I definitely like the humor there. So all right. So I'm gonna try to do Blackjack here. So Blackjack we'll do 5 hands, I think. I think we're gonna do 5. Let's see. Can we do a 5-hander? 5. 1, 2. I think we could do 5. Okay, we'll do 5. Whoa. Okay, we'll do it. We're gonna do a 5-hander Blackjack there. Sorry about that. Cut the pack. Okay. So square it up. 5 hands. 5 hands in. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't see what I have there. We'll do face up now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you've got 13, 14, 19. He probably wouldn't go any farther than that. We've got 2 8s right here, which you could split. Probably not. 16. That's good. 20. We've got 2 3s. That's 6. That's 16. You probably wouldn't, but 26. And then there's 11, 17, bust. And if you take a look, I have Blackjack. So you can even do it. You can even do a face-up deal like that, where it's kept like that. I was doing the same thing. So if I take the cut the pack here, hold on. Give it a couple of. Make sure I'm legitimately shuffling these. Otherwise, I will have been cheating, so quick shuffles. Okay, there we go. Okay. This is pure ASMR for me. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm super happy about that. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. Now, a couple of shuffles. Card goes on top. Do a fancy shuffle real quick just because I can. Okay. Impossible stack. That's not mine. That's Devo's from Germany, so sadly I can't teach it, but neat little cardistry style shuffle. There we go. I'm not a cardist, by the way. I enjoy it. I'm not talented enough to be a cardist, but all right. So you take the ace here, and I can sit there and deal face down. We've all seen that so far. And with these full bleed cards, you can see I haven't dealt the ace yet. But if I do it face up, same situation, I can actually just deal face up, almost as if it looks. By the way, I should probably take these back in, but it looks like oops, it's here. It looks pretty fair. And especially for somebody who's looking on the offbeat right there, it looks pretty fair for the most part. And I still have the ace of clubs here. Or faro dealing, which is a little bit less fair. But you can see it. It's kind of... Yugoslav video game. Richard, hey Yugoslav, thanks for stopping in. I'm doing a weird thing. I'm doing a card performance. But if you're into it, definitely stay and say hi, and or you've said hi. Sorry, stay in and enjoy. And if you're not, thanks for stopping by and showing some support. By the way, I've been enjoying your stream, so I apologize. Sometimes I'll drop in, and then it's usually pretty late over here by the time it happens. So sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I'll conk out in the middle of it. And but anyway, you've had some really great streams going. I really enjoyed it. So, okay. So we've seen some neat, nice and neat cheaty deals. I guess another thing I should show is probably the downs change. This is a really tricky, dirty thing to do, and it can be done a number of ways. I'll do it with the. No, you know what? I won't do it with the king. I'll do it with deuce here. So if I take the this is a deuce hearts. I take the deuce, right? Now I'm going to show you this is used, this particular part of it's used probably in Magic more than it is in gambling, but I'll show you how I've seen it used in gambling as well. If I do this right here and I hand myself the 2, and I set that 2 down like that, my hands are empty by the way, and you can see I didn't actually hand myself a 2, I handed myself the ace. It's called a downs change. Now it can be done on the table as well. So let's say I'm looking for the, we'll say the jack of hearts, right? Instead of the ace. Jack of hearts, oh that was close, I was going to say it was almost there. But if I take this card and I set it down like that, and then there's my jack of hearts. So these look really dirty. These moves look like they're really dirty moves, because they are. If you do that face up, it's the equivalent of a second deal basically. So if I have the 2 here and I hand it up face up, I can actually twist and push out a different card. It's a pretty dirty little move there. You probably wouldn't use that much in gambling. More magician's kind of a move, but that having been said, it's definitely something I've seen used in. I guess I've seen it used. If you take, let's do it. I did this in a Monte routine. I guess it's worth showing. I think I did it in the. Yeah, we used that one and that one and that one, I suppose. We won't use this one. Okay. So, in a Monte routine, this is really interesting. Well, here, we'll do this. So, in a Monte routine, don't ever if you're doing 3-card Monte, I'll go transition into that, because that's kind of what this one was supposed to be. 3-card Monte is probably one of the most deceptive games you can play when it comes to a kind of quick, easy hustle. And it's not a good legal hustle, but it's fun. So, I take a pack of cards here. We're just going to take a couple. So, we're going to take a red queen here. And we're going to take a black queen here, okay? So at this point in time, you keep it very simple. You have a red queen and a black queen, so the only difference between them is the color of the queen, right? And so in this case, you take an ace, okay? You hand yourself an ace, you throw it down like that. You say you're going to get rid of the cards, okay? I'll legitimately, without crossing over, I'll get rid of them. They're going to go right here, okay? Nothing in this hand, nothing in this hand. So we have a red queen and a black queen, and then we have an ace. If I take my hands empty and I shuffle the cards in the slowest possible fashion, just like this. This is the hustle, right? You would think, oh, it's pretty easy, I can find it. So it was in the center. Does anyone happen to know where it is? If they say here, that's a red queen, so we'll try again. Now you have a 50-50 shot, one of these two. So keep your eye on this one. Don't pick this one. I'm going to shuffle again slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is the black queen. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there was no ace ever put down in that hustle. A lot of times I use the Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Diamonds, which is why I say red queen and black queen, so I don't want you thinking about the suit, but a lot of times they'll actually just pull a duplicate queen of hearts out, and it's almost impossible. I'm gonna have to come back. I'm up for my appointment. Catch you guys. Oh yeah, no worries, bud. No worries. I appreciate you for stopping in. So yeah, that's a part of that. I'm glued. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. So yeah, that's a big part of the hustle. And the ace never left the pack. He's over here. That's right here. The same situation. If I take the do this, I guess. Another kind of a dirty cheat here is the way that it comes up and down. So if I take the ace here and I hand it to you and I say which one's the ace, right? That seems like a pretty easy proposition, right? So if I show you the ace and the queen, but if I show you the ace here is on the if I show you the ace is here on the I guess on your guys' side it's the right, and then I flip the pack around like this and I kind of splay the cards out, a lot of people are tempted to believe that when I flip the cards over, the card remained here. It's that same basic premise. So, very dirty little cheat. Another dirty cheat, I guess I should show this. This is pretty cool. We'll pull a random one out. Eight of diamonds. Set it there on the table. Rest of the pack's up in the hand. And that's a neat little. So it's all about it's the same. The mechanics thing and the magician's thing are the same thing. It's all about misdirection. If I take, like I said, if I take a card, if I take the king of clubs here, and I set him down on the table like that, and I come over here and I shuffle the pack, and we're just assuming that I'm playing war, right? And then I decide to deal off a card to myself at random. This guy right here didn't get the king, he got the 9, I got his king. So there's all kinds of really dirty little cheaty techniques that you can use that are pretty dirty. All right. Dang, you're pretty good at this. Thank you. I have practiced the art of playing card cheats and magic tricks and cards and all that for just about 30 years now. So I hope to have a modicum of skill here. There we go. Let's try this again. All right. So yeah, that's the careful. But thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I try really hard to have some skill in it. All right. So back to my little Ace of Hearts routine here for just a second. Okay, that feels good. All right. So if I take, let's do a we'll do a series of shuffles there. A couple shuffles here, maybe a shuffle there. Maybe a shuffle there, and maybe a shuffle there, and one more series of, box shuffles. Nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. Pack gets cut, ace gets found, and we're good again. Okay, cool. So those are just some cheats that you can use if you ever decide you want to kind of cheat the cheater. I mean, there's a lot of, like I said, the mucking cheat is probably one of the dirtier ones. And you can actually do what I just did and do it in a kind of natural way. So as I do this, I have the 9 here, and I come back up and I flip over that ace. That was what I'd call a dirty muck, but same situation. I didn't get to demonstrate, I guess, very well, but I'll do one more quick series of mucks here. So I have bullets. Bullets get palmed in the hand. Come here. This is a really dirty technique. I have 9-4, which is a pretty garbage hand, not of suit. Cards come up and by the way, I'm peeking the cards, so I'm going to swap them. There's no secret here. As I come up to peek my whole cards, I usually would cover like this, and I'd flip them over, so it looks more like this, and then I come back. So to speed, if I do it the way it's supposed to be done, cards are here. Come back up to peek, flip them over. Whoops, that was dirty as all get out. Let's try that one more time. Cards are here. Get ready to peek the whole cards, flip them over, done. That is a little cleaner, okay. Other cards are here. Like I said, I'd lap, and then I'd muck these. If I got a hand that had a 9 or a 4 or some spades or hearts, I'd probably do that. So it's a kind of a dirty muck there, but you could do it. You do it one card at a time as well if you want. So I have a 4. That's obviously not the great hand. I have this palmed off. 4 comes here. Flip that over. I've got an ace. 4 gets retained. A lot of really dirty cheats there. And it looks pretty flawless. So you just, whoops, sorry about that. You just keep this. Normally what you'd do, by the way, you wouldn't keep this in your palm. You would lap it. So you'd actually push it off the edge of the table into your lap. And then when you needed to bring it back up, say that you got Delta 4 or something like that, then you would push your chair up. You'd come down here, push your chair up like that, pull your chair up, and you'd come back in palm position, or Tenkai palm position, which looks like this, or Gambler's Caught, which looks like this, right? And I have the card here. And if I'm here like this, Gambler's Cop's pretty invisible. But the card's right here. So a lot of dirty techniques there. Gambler's Cop's a lot better for when you're standing up, though. I'll say that much. All right. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope those of you who've stopped in are enjoying and having fun and all that kind of good stuff. Whoops, there. Let's do that again. One more time on the other side. Get those all broken in. Perfect. Okay. So I'll go ahead and put these up for just a second. And I'm going to demonstrate a real, oops, I guess I probably shouldn't shuffle the cut card into it, but I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate what cheating kind of devices you might find out there. This is pretty dirty, so this is a regular pack. I'll push these over. This is a cheating pack right here. These are what we'd call shavers or strippers. And I'll pull this like this. This is the purpose of this is it's meant to look like a regular bicycle pack. These are red. I know it's in black and white, but these are red backs. Red rider backs are the most common pack of cards in the world, as far as I'm aware. And so you have, and the faces are normal. There's no marking system at all. So this is all marked by feel, and I'll show you how this works. It's really cool. So I'm going to take a random card out, just one. 7 of spades. If the 7 of spades is the card I want, let's assume for the sake of argument. Here, I'm back. Don't worry, I'm alive. I'm safe. The people are safe. It's secure. Thank you. You've held down the bunker, AR. We wouldn't have been able to make it. No, I'm glad you're okay. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties earlier too. I appreciate you for having been so patient with me. Thank you so much. So these are shavers. I'm going to put these in. Pack goes in the middle. Now, I don't know if you can see this really well on the camera, but if I turn the pack like this, you might be able to see a little bit of shading right there. I don't know if you can. You hold it up a little bit. Can you see the protrusion there? And that is because this pack is shaved in this direction. So these sides of the cards are more narrow, and these are more wide. And so when you take one of the cards and you turn it, that's a 7 by the way. When you take one of these cards like this, I'll take the Ace of Clubs, or I'll take the Queen of Hearts, she's my favorite. And I'll turn her upside down like that, and I'll push her into the pack like this, and I'll cut the pack, and I'll actually legitimately shuffle the pack. Just like this. Just like this. I don't have to look. When I come back up to the playing card, I'll get a bit cut. The technical difficulties were almost a deal breaker. I unsubscribed and resubscribed 15 times. I'll accept the apology. Yeah, I apologize. It was a mess. I wouldn't blame you. So I give the pack a cut. I've given the pack several shuffles. I'm not actually holding any sort of gimmick or anything. As I come back to the shuffle position here, I can actually strip away a card, and that is the Queen, without having to look. So this is a cheating pack of cards. Let me show you. Let's actually demonstrate this with a multi-card purpose, and I'll show you exactly what can be done in the case of a really cheaty person. And you know what? Let's throw, what's high card? King of Spades would be the next high card, yeah. King of Spades. So that's a pretty. This right here this by the way is a pretty stacked hand. Okay, there aren't very. Oops, sorry about that. There aren't very many better. So So if I take the pack and I put them in, you know what? I'll actually put them in one at a time, just so you can see it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here you can't see anything, but from here, if I come to shuffle position, I can actually just lightly, and I'll do it this way, but I can just lightly pull like that, and as I do it, I get all 4 aces and the king back. So this is, if you ever see something like this is an actually really cheaty thing that can be used in a pack of cards. These are, like I said, these are called strippers, and that's literally why. So you wouldn't use that like I just used it there. That's way too obvious. How would you use that in sequence? Well, cards would get mixed like this. You're in dealing position. And what you would do is you would do your normal shuffles just like you normally would here. And then you would come into the box shuffle, and the first strip would actually be those 5 cards. So strip 1 would be those 5 cards. Then you would do number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these are your blind box shuffles. And you would just blind box shuffle them back to the top. So right now they're all 5 on top right here. But you just blind box shuffle them back. So, and then this is a blind box shuffle. So I don't need a special gimmick pack of cards for this. I can just blind box shuffle them back to the pack. Yeah, and it's read by feel. So these are dirty little cheating packs of cards that are typically. You can find special ones, but this one's made out of this was a regular bicycle deck, and somebody happened to have a shaver, card shaver that they could use on it, which I'm hoping to find one of those one of these days. Those are not exactly very common anymore. They were more common in the early 1900s, late 1800s. So yeah, shuffle. I mean, that's a normal shuffle. There's no way of telling, but yeah, that's a dirty little trick because the minute I need them, I can strip, box shuffle. I messed up there, but still I can strip and box shuffle them back to the top is the point. So they're still, I think I stripped 1 too few. There we go. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's a dirty trick. So I wanted to show those off for anybody who wasn't familiar that there are actually packs of cards out there that aren't marked, that are ways to cheat. That's one of the worst. Okay. I guess what I want to show, this is one of the big ones, and this is almost like a PSA at this point. So I'm using Mavericks. Mavericks are very inexpensive. I'm not sure what all cards are available to everybody. Mavericks are very inexpensive. They're about $1 here. They're not particularly great quality cards. They'll do the trick if you're playing a game, but they're not really, if you're a dealer. When did you first learn to do this? Sorry if you first explained it before. No. It's perfectly okay. So we were when I was younger, we were a very poor family, and so one of my very first presents, I very well could have been, and I believe very well was, a pack of Maverick playing cards like this, but blue. You guys are seeing it in black and white, but these are red, but blue. And my grandfather was kind of a pull shark and a card shark and a hustler and a little, and so he would do these cool tricks with cards, and he got me interested in it, and then I just kind of kept with it, and that was, that's getting close to 30 years ago. So long time ago. A lot of fun though, a lot of fun. No, and I'm always happy even if I said it before. Feel free to ask a question. Even if I said it, I'll happily repeat it if you have a. I don't mean to take you off track of your topic, but no, don't worry about it. This is ask questions, please. There's no such thing as a dumb question. This is a very niche thing, so if you have a question about specifically it, ask, and I'll happily answer it. And number 2 is, even if I've answered a question, if you're not here, I'll repeat it. I have no problem with that. So don't. Yeah, you're not. No problem at all. I'm happy to do it. Okay. I'm going to use the reason I'm using Mavericks for these is because I'm going to bend them. So I'm going to take these back. I'm going to put them back in the pack. This is actually a PSA. So for anybody, I don't know how gambling is across the world. I know how it is in the U.S., okay? I know how it is in Vegas. I've worked in Vegas. That was pretty fun. I've played in Vegas. I've worked in Vegas. It's all been fun. I definitely have seen the 3-card Monte scam, and I'm going to show you the traditional 3-card Monte scam. So in this case, I am actually only using 3 cards. I am using 2 queens, and I am using the ace of spade. And the ace of spade would be called the money card. So the first thing I guess I should say is when you're playing 3-card Monte, you're typically playing 3-card Monte with you're not playing with just this guy. The guy that's throwing these cards here is called the operator. Either I've heard him called the controller or the operator. Operator is most common. This guy right here you have to have in order to play the game. The other thing, though, that you may not have known is that everything up to the table, at least here, everything up to the table is a scam. So you probably saw the operator, the guy throwing the cards. You've probably also seen somewhere in the nearby vicinity a person with a big coat on, or a large person. That's the bouncer. The bouncer's job is to make sure that if you absolutely find a way around it and win, that they prevent you from walking away with that money. Be it a threat or be it action on a threat. Then you also have another group of people which are typically playing the game, and it looks like they're winning, and those are called stooges. So you have people that are playing the game, and they look like they're winning and they're excited. Those are stooges. None of those people actually legitimately walked up to the table, won $10, and walked away. They were paid a portion, or they're promised a portion of the cut, a very small portion, to sit there and sucker in people to betting a lot of money. Okay. So typically, there used to be a little cutesy rhyme for it to make it seem like it's a little game from Hanky Poo, the queen's for me, the ace for you. That's the old rhyme. It doesn't really go that way anymore. But the way it works now, and the cheat, this is the really cheaty part, is they'll show you the cards, but they're allowed to, for whatever reason, they're allowed to pick up 2 cards at a time. So I show you the ace, and I throw that over there, and then I pick up, let's say I pick up a queen and then the queen. Okay, where is the ace? If you're paying attention, you'd think it's right there. Whoops, sorry, but you'd be wrong. It's over here. So this is the scam. The game gets really hard when they can pick up more than 1 card at a time. So yet again, ace is here. Ace goes in the middle. I pick up 2 cards. I show you the ace. I cast the ace down, and then I can pick up this card, and I show you the queen. Right? I show you the queen, and then I show you the queen, and I put it down. You wouldn't be faulted for thinking this is the card. But it's not. That's the card.
Reached the voicemail box of.
So used to, the way it was supposed to do is you would pick up only 1 at a time, and you'd cast the cards in the figure of 8 pattern. But the problem is there's an actual mathematical thing to that. There's a version of this we do that's called a frustration count. So when you have 2 queens and you have 2 queens and an ace, and you're allowed to pick up 1 and cast it down, and then you just switch the positions of the other, you're suckering somebody in. The operator's suckering someone into believing that you did something stupid, which is switch the position of the king around the ace that you just casted down. But I didn't do that. The ace is over here. Tiny Haley says hi. Little emoji goes hi. I love that. Hi there, Tiny Haley. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi on the stream. Hopefully you're finding some of this interesting. So yeah, that's the actual cheat. Now, it's not a difficult cheat. So the cards are when the cards are getting cast, and it seems like you're getting showed everything, right? It seems like you're getting shown everything, but you're not. And one of the dirtiest ones. Don't ever let them pick them up all 3. By the way, don't do that, because this is a gambler's delight here. So I'm going to show you. I show you queen, ace, ace. Well, I don't have 2 aces. I just picked up the queen. So don't ever let them pick that up. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, so this is the actual hustle. The actual hustle is you let them pick up 2 cards. You let them show you the card, cast it off, mix the cards up, and even if from that point on they mix them up like this, you're already 1 card off. So I'll follow this. I'll see if I can follow this. I'll put it here. They pick 1 card off and they say follow. All you have to do, it's very simple. All you have to do, follow the ace. It's right there. Now we're just going to mix this up. Even though I did that as fairly as I possibly could, you let me cast that ace down. It's not here. It's over here.
Goodbye.
And I apologize if I'm flipping the wrong one over. I'm looking at a screen, and the screen's a mirror image of what I'm actually doing. So it's kind of tricky. Sometimes I'll turn this one over, because on my screen, on my monitor, this one is my right-hand card, and in real life, it's my left-hand card. So yeah. Love these secrets from casinos. Very crafty. Good. I'm glad. So yeah, this is a dirty trick. But yeah, so anyway, let's assume for the sake of argument that you are a sharp individual. Let's say you're a sharp customer here. We take the ace and we're playing again. And yet again, I'm showing this. I'm picking this up. I show you these. I show you the cards. I cast down the ace in the middle there, and then I just switch the places of the queens. Yet again, didn't do that. Okay, so I'm showing the same thing over and over and over again. So let me explain what happens. Let me explain what happens on the other side of things. So if I take queen, and this is the ace, and let's say I actually cast the ace down. That's really the ace, okay? And you catch that, and I mix these cards up, and you guess that that's the card, right? Well, here, let's go over what actually would happen. Let's say I don't even pick up two. Let's say I do this right here. So ace is here, queens are here. I mix the cards up. You're following them as best you can. Oops, sorry. I threw them over myself. Anyway, let's say you catch it. We'll say that for the sake. You walk out. The stooges, who won the money, by the way, they're going to stay stooges. You now have gotten the attention because you guessed the correct card. You've now gotten the attention of the bouncer. So the operator will pay out whatever the amount of money you're owed in that game is. And then the bouncer will follow you wherever you decide you want to go. The bouncer will follow you, and they'll make sure they get that money back. I've been trying to explain to her what you do with the cards, but it's still foreign to me. Well, I'll do some more demonstration here in a second if that's okay. I'll kind of do some of the stuff I did in a minute, if that's all right, and kind of go back over some of it, because I know you jumped in a little late too. So, by the way, humongous thank you at this point for everybody who stopped in and said hi and enjoying this, or has enjoyed this. I'm really having a lot. I love performing. I've been doing this for nearly 30 years in some capacity, amateur, pro, and semi-pro, and I really, really enjoy this. So thank you so much for everybody giving me the opportunity to perform for you, and hopefully make your day a little bit brighter, and also potentially, if you decide to go gambling, maybe a little bit safer. So yeah. So anyway, that's the trick. So you at this point, when this happens, you throw this down, you get this card. You're going to attract the attention of the bouncer. The bouncer's going to come back after you. Another thing that they do too, I guess I should also make mention of this, is the gambling is typically, a lot of times you can put money down for a specific card. So you would have, okay, aces here. You'd have people that would bet on which card is the ace, and they'd actually put dollar bills or change or whatever the minimum buy-in is to play. They'd put those dollar bills here, and they'd say what, and then you'd flip over the card, and whoever had that card would win those bills. Typically, that's going to be a stooge. But at the same time, another way, especially if you happen to find one of the very few operators that I've found that don't have all participants playing, all stooges playing, and sometimes that doesn't happen because sometimes a stooge will accidentally guess the correct card or will purposefully guess the correct card, and then another person, the person that's playing, yourself, will actually just, instead of following the thing, right? If I do this, I cast this card over here, and you think the ace is here. Well, let's say that the stooge bet's over here. You may not pay attention to the skill. You may just bet where the stooge bet and you'd win still. So some people don't like to use stooges at the same time actively. They'll play it, and this is kind of a dirty trick, but they'll say, okay, it's $10 to play, and you win double if you find the card, okay? So $10, you put $10, and this is a high example, right? You probably wouldn't pay $10. You'd probably pay $1 or $5, you say, okay, here's the deal. I have two queens and I have an ace, and then let's say that they play fair for whatever reason. They won't, but let's say they do. They mix the pack up, mix the cards up, and they say, okay, 10 or 20 if you win or whatever. You find the ace. Then they pay $10 out. But let's say you lose, you pay out $20 to them, that 20 goes in their pocket. They say, okay, well, hey, double or nothing. You pay $20 in to play, but I'll pay out $40 if you beat me. If you think about it, you just paid them $20, and you're going to pay in more money. So their risk doesn't increase any. So another dirty trick, even if they're playing quote-unquote honestly, the money that you're going to win is typically, $5 or $10 more than what your total investment is. And they're not going to let you in. Okay. So that's the hustle of 3-card Monte. That's how 3-card Monte works, is that they can pick up 2 cards at a time, show you the card, cast the card, mix the cards fairly, and at that point you've already lost the card because the card that I cast in the very first place was not the ace. The ace is over here. So, okay. So that's the 3-card Monte cheat. We'll come back over here. Well, those are dented. Let's put those dented, bent. Goodness, my goodness. Let's take this pack, put it back over here. We'll go back to the dealers for a second, and I'll demonstrate for Miss Tiny Haley what I do with the cards. We'll take the jokers and the cut card out here, regular pack of cards. Okay. So this is all, you're not going to find this in a casino typically, at least not here you won't. You'll definitely find this in private games and private casinos. Underground casinos will probably use this, but the illusion of having a pack of cards that you have any level of control over is kind of here. And so the idea of it is, I have the pack of cards here. The first thing that you're probably going to, I'll do this move for move really quickly, and then I'll combine it into what we call a sequence, is going to be, let's see. We'll do a demonstration. I don't know how familiar you are with poker. That's probably a little less fair than it should have been. Let's try something a little more fair. Okay. Okay. So, in a game of poker, I'm pretty sure this is probably, I think this has become the worldwide standard, but I could be wrong. I believe Texas Hold'em has become the worldwide standard for poker tournaments. I'm pretty sure. I am a little lucky insofar that in that I come from Texas, so I get to say Texas Hold'em is awesome, being from Texas, but at the same time, I think that's the standard. It may not be. 7-card stud could still be the standard out there. And so the idea is, I'll show you how the first one I'll show you is going to be what it looks like when you're actually playing, and then I'll show you what it looks like from my perspective, or from what I can feel, kind of. So the first thing is, you've seen me shuffle and cut the pack. I'm going to deal a 5-card hand, including myself, so that'll be 4 out here, 5 hands. And I'm going to go with bullets, which are 2 aces, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 1 ace right there. Okay, now generally in Texas Hold'em, you have to burn a card, okay? So we're going to burn this card over here, 9 of clubs. And then I'm going to try and see if I can do this again. If I do it right, I should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 2 aces for me. And then normally, yet again, you'd burn a card. Now, this, I don't know what every card is in the pack. So generally, the community cards would be, here's the flop. I'd burn a card. 4th Street, burn a card. 5th Street, turn and river, if you're more familiar with that. And so the hand is right now got 9s on the board. So now I have 9s and aces. That's 2 pair, which is a pretty strong pair. This person has nothing. They have 9s, right? 7s and 9s is a good hand. Nothing. Another thing that could happen that might also be a factor is if I would have dealt this person a jack, and that's called a double duke. It's where I actually have they have a great hand, I have a better hand, but they're both monumental hands. That's called a double duke. So if I dealt somebody 4 of a kind and I dealt myself a royal flush to beat them, that's a double duke, right? So I've been trying to explain. Oh, sorry. Back. Supposed to chill for 10 minutes before I leave the clinic. Yeah, and I hope everything goes well there. I know how that can be. So I hope everything goes well. I'm sure it will. Probably no issue there. What's up, Tim and AR? Tim and AR. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought I misread that for a second. I'm sorry. So that's the cheating. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like from my perspective. Exactly what I did. I'm going to reveal the cheat. And by the way, this is not a magician's thing. I'll throw this in there. It's not a magician's thing. There's no code. There's no code about revealing this. These are cheaters' techniques. And so even if you know the technique, it takes years of practice, months of practice at least, but years of practice probably to get some of this stuff down. It took me years to get some of this down. So, but what I did when I threw the cards in, I'll leave I'll do my ace of spades. But I'll put them back in here and give the pack a shuffle, and the up the ladder cut / box shuffle, and then another shuffle maybe, and then I'll square the pack up a little bit and give it a cut, and then I'll square it up. Okay, so that looks fair. That looks pretty fair. What I did firstly is, it's not fair. The ace is right here on top, and I did what we call dealing second. So I'm going to show you that face down again. Ace is the top card, nothing on top, but I do this 1, And as I'm reaching over the entire pack. 2, 3, 4, 5. That was called a hanger, by the way. I mean, that would have gotten me shot, so I don't want that to happen. So I've dealt that out, but I still have the ace right here. I'll show you face up with the ace of spades. All right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when it's face down, you can't tell. And now I have bullets again, and they have bullets over here, and so on and so forth, right? But the demonstration was just second deal. So it's pretty dirty. It's pretty tricky. That's one of them. Another one that I do is that I think is pretty dirty is the downs change. And a downs change is pop all the aces here. Ace of spade being the high card here. Assume we're playing war. Some casinos actually will play war, by the way. Assuming we're playing war, I'll give this person the ace of spades. So I've got no chance of winning, by the way, at this point, right? Because if I play, I mean, if I'm going to play, I have to play whatever, right? But if I deal myself a card at random, you'll notice they have the queen, I actually have the ace. We'll try that one more time. This is even a sure thing. Even a sure bet is not a sure bet here. So I take the ace here. I hand them the ace. They get it. Okay. Just so you can see what I'm doing. I'll shuffle the pack. Give it a series of up the ladder cuts. Oh, sorry. And then shuffle again. And I can even give the pack a cut if I want to, like that. Deal myself out a card. I got the ace of spade. They got the 9 of diamonds. So even if it seems like a sure bet, even if it seems like I am pushing that card to them, they have that card. They get that card. It's theirs, right? That is about as fairly as I can do that. And yet in the same situation, all I have to do is cut and shuffle the pack a few times, deal myself out a card at random. I have the ace. They have a 10. Me and Haley are talking about how you have the camera set up. Do you have it on a stand above you? So I don't quite. It's actually on a stand in front of me. This is the Velbon CX440 stand. It's actually my wife's stand, to be completely fair. She's just been sweet enough to let me use it. She's a sweetheart. But it's on this stand, and then the stand is in front. So I'm touching the stand right now, and then the. I called you, Tim. I'm so sorry. No. Lurking and working, listening. Hey, you. Oh, Heavy Waves. Thanks for welcome back in. By the way, it happens. You get to read and you get to doing stuff, man. It happens. But anyway, no, I have it on a stand in front of me, and then the stand is just hiked up quite a bit and angled slightly. So it's actually if I'm pointing at the camera lens right now, you can see my finger's not straight up and down. It's at an angle, but it's at such an angle that you guys can see it okay, hopefully. And then the microphone's just on an arm in front of me. I'll show you. And then there's the microphone. So this thing's dirty. So it's just a little bit closer to my mouth. So yeah, that's how I'm doing it. I wish I had an overhead rig. I'd love to get one. They do make them, but this table's it's just a little like $10 or $15. You could buy it at Walmart table. We bought it at Walmart, in fact. So. Oh, I guess another dirty thing. People don't usually use this in a poker game, but it is somewhat useful. So I'll show it off. All right, so I have this is known as an Erdnase color change, but it's actually pretty good for switching cards, especially for second deal purposes, in my experience. So I'll show you the face down version first. Let's do some cards that have some impact. There we go. It's a cool setup you got. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I love to talk tech, but at the same time, I'm not. Sometimes I'm a little not so good at conveying things. Great setup overall. Thank you very much. So in this case, I'm going to show the. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope it's easy and fun to look at and listen to and all that good stuff. So in this case, I have the 4 of spades here on the top. By the way, I know there's a little, some of this may seem a little bit impressive. There's a delay in when I record and the audio is coming through more quickly than the recording should be coming through, so some of that's not as impressive. Maybe I turned over the card before, you know, before I said it or something. But 4 spades, and I want the king of diamonds, okay? So I take the pack's a little bit messed up here, and I come back up like this with my hand, and I'm going to square the pack, right? Now I have the 4 here still, so we're going to try it again. Pack is disheveled. I come up, I give it a little square like that. Okay, that's what that would look like. So now let's cheat with that same motion. Kind of almost bent a card there. Let's try that again. I was going to do it with the king of diamonds, but we'll try it with the ace of diamonds. So here we are. 4 comes up, pack's disheveled. Come up like this, square, set the pack down. Ace is on top. Now face up, it looks ridiculous. I need another ace. We'll say ace of clubs probably. Comes here, deck's disheveled. Comes up like this, set the pack down, move the hands away. Hands are empty, by the way. So that's it's a color change, but it actually works really well for cheating in second dealing, because now if I'm going to deal seconds face up, but same situation. Let's do, let's take the, let's switch them back around here. But I take the 2 here, and I'm setting here with the pack like this. Deck is disheveled yet again. Of course, oh, I'm sorry. Here, I come back up like this, I square up, I set the pack down like that. Now as I do that, I'm ready to second. You see, I mean, I can just sit there and deal seconds all day. Very seamless. Thank you. Thank you. So so now I can deal seconds all I want, and then when I'm ready, I can deal myself an ace. So again, whoops, sorry. Boop, 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 boop. And it looks, I mean, face up, it's still kind of interesting. The trick with the second deal that I need to work better on is you don't want to come out like this and just pinch the edge. If I'm dealing normal cards like this with my full thumb, I want to try and use my full thumb when I come to grab the second too. So that's the idea. There's a book on it actually called Expert at the Card. By the way, anybody who's I better show this off. So 1 second. One second. Well, I thought I had it in there. All right, so you're driving home now. See you in a bit, guys. Good, good. I hope you're feeling all right, too, after that. Good. I was going to show it off, but I don't guess I have it here, but it's a book called Expert at the Card Table, which is where most of these techniques come from. It was written and published in 1902, sold for $2, which is the equivalent of about I was going to say 100, but I think it's closer to the equivalent of $1,000 for the time. And it's sold out, but a lot of those techniques are there. I have the replica version. It looks like it's from the 1902, you know, the original 1902 edition, but you can get a paperback version for about $7, and it'll teach a lot of these. Of course, I'll be teaching some of these over my channel over the course of over the course of a few. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Definitely drive safe. My apologies if I didn't offer those well wishes. I apologize. So yeah, that's another. I guess that's another key thing, though. If you're looking for resource, I'll be able to give resource. So a lot of the other things though that I use, I'll go back to the knights here for a second. So pull the knights over. This is a pretty pack of cards. It's got these nice soft tuck case here. There we are. This is a much thicker pack of cards. These are printed on. Ooh, sheesh. These are printed on Cardamundi's B9 stock, so it's a very thick pack of cards. Kind of hard to get used to when you've just used crushed USPCC stock. All right, so let's take these out here for a second. That's jokers and 2 extra cards for fun, right there. And pop those into here. Of course, no worries. All right, so now we're using the knights. Beautiful pack of cards. Chris Ramsey and Daniel Madison. So these are great. If you ever find a pack, I think they're on Illusionist. They make them in blue and red. I think the red ones are a thinner pack, but either way, these are well worth the purchase if you're a big card aficionado. I'll try and showcase decks of cards that I really like as well, because these are These are a little bit more of a premier pack. But yeah, same situation. Like, even with the border, the reason I was using the other ones is because these have this little white border here, which make the detection of second dealing a little bit easier. I'm sure you guys are seeing that a little bit easier than you were on the full bleed pack. So I'll try it again. Oh, let's do it with that Ace of Hearts right there. I was going to shuffle one to the top, but I thought, oh, why not? Okay, so Ace of Hearts is on top. Yet again, some seconds here. And the Ace stays on top. Okay. Yeah, so I guess one of the things I do mostly gambling show demonstrations and showing gambling stuff. This may be easier. Let's try this with this just for the fun of it. This may be easier to do with these, so we'll try it again. Deck's disheveled a little bit. Come up, set the pack down. We should be good. Gib84 says good evening or evening Retro Room. Hey, good evening to you, Mr. Gib. It is 4:03 over here. It is getting close to evening. My goodness. All right. Well, I thank you so much for coming in, stopping in. I know you were here last time, got to see some of this stuff, so decided to do another demonstration. I went over kind of some 3-card Monte cheats and stuff. Super happy to get to perform for everybody. It's really fun. So I guess the piece of it that I was looking at for anybody who is interested, I don't really do. So I haven't done a lot of the magic piece of it. I really do a lot more of the like gambling slides, the how they take your money piece. There's a lot of different cool, magic slides I think that happen as well. A lot of tricks that are actually pretty well used well, I'll demonstrate. So in this case, I'm actually going to teach you, if you're wanting to learn something kind of fun, I'm going to teach you something that happens in gambling that's actually very useful in magic. So if you're interested in really impressing your friends with a pack of playing cards, these can be done with any pack of playing cards. They are beneficial for gamblers, but they also can be turned into magic tricks. So the first one is called the key card principle, and that is, let's take a random card out here, 10 of diamonds, right? That is the principle that dictates that if I keep eyes on a card that's not this card but is next to this card, I can keep track of this card. And so, for example, King of Spades is on the bottom. Oh, by the way, neat little pass. I think it's the Herman Pass. Let's see if I can do this. King, let's see if I can do this in the camera. This is going to be a little angle sensitive here. Yeah, it's going to be a little. You can do it. It's kind of over here, I think. It's a 10 of clubs comes in. And I don't know if I can do it here because it's kind of angle sensitive, but yeah, I'll demonstrate that at some point too. Passes, but those are angle sensitive. But anyway, so point being, let's do some cheating here for a second. Okay, cool. Got a feel for the pack again. So we have somebody take a card. They take that one. We're not going to look at that card right there. Okay, just for the sake of it. And as somebody's doing that, I flip the pack around real quick, and I'm just playing around with it. 2 of clubs is on the bottom. Okay. Video games for fun. Hey, I've only just woken up, so I'm lurking for a while. How are we all? I'm doing well, Viddy. I'm very appreciative that you were willing to stop in after having woken up. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of people have been here watching me do some really weird stuff with a pack of playing cards, and it's been incredible. So thank you. So we're not looking at this card. 2 of clubs is on the bottom. I'm playing with the pack. I see the 2 of clubs. Take this card and I put this card on the top of the pack without looking. I cut the pack, right? As I've cut the pack, no matter how many times I cut the pack and no matter where I cut the pack, so long as I can find that 2 of clubs, I know that the card that was hidden was the 4 of diamonds. I just said bye. She's off to bed to play some Switch, but she's left the stream on her phone for review. Aw, thank you so much. I'm glad she got some enjoyment out of that, and I very much appreciate it. So the key card principle is pretty interesting. You take you have a card you look at, Jack of diamonds. If I cut the cards just like this, even if I cut them a couple times, I'm looking for that Jack of diamonds, right? And I can see that 6 is right there. That's key card principle. So that's it. In Magic, you would do something like this, right? You deal a single card out, or they'd pick one, and then you'd riffle the pack like this, and you'd glimpse this card, the 8. They put their card back. The 8's on top of it. Okay. and then you would know, okay, I don't know, I know the 8's there, but I know their card was the 2. So in gambling, this is a little handy because you might use that. I now have to remember to turn it off and charge your phone when I go to bed so our battery does. That's understandable, no worries. Sorry. So ideally, let's say somebody has a good hand here. So I'll deal some seconds here for just a second to demonstrate. So I have this ace right here. In the first hand, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who has the ace, right? Well, the ace should be right here, but it's not. I kept it, right? Second hand again, face up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have the ace still. So I'm still dealing seconds, but let's assume for the sake of argument that somebody else happens to have that ace, right? I can pick these cards up like this, set them on top, cut them thin into play, and I know that there's a 3 of spades. So let's see, I didn't see that it's a high card marker there, for example. I have my 3 of spades in there to hold the place of where I basically need to cut when that comes up. So what I'm doing is as I blind cut, maybe I cut thin and I cut for the 3 of spades, and when I see the 3 of spades, I put that underneath and say, okay, ace of hearts is here, and I deal seconds. So the key card principle definitely works because you're not having to look directly at cards that everybody else gets to look at. Okay, let's bring the ace of spades to the top for demonstrative purposes. Whoops, almost messed that up. Let's do a sloppy shuffle. Cut. Sloppy shuffle. Ace of spades, though. Anyway. Okay, my goodness. This has been a ton of fun, by the way. Oh, another little cheaty thing. This is actually pretty great. I hope you use this in your... yet again, cannot repeat this enough. Do not cheat honest people for honest money, right? But if you want to do something for fun, or if there's a cheater in your game and you want to kind of get back at him, I'm going to show you how you can cheat in a 5-hand game. So 5-hand game happens. We're going to say that the game is 5-card draw. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we deal 5 cards around the table. It's a 25-card game here. Okay. Now, I'm gonna assume nobody draws anything for the fun of it, and also because that's a lot of cards. That guy's got 3s. Okay. So in this case, let's make it real easy for the sake of demonstration. Okay. So everybody's played their hands. You're up to deal. Your job's to pick this up, pick up this mess, put it in the pack. Okay? Scoop the cards up in a haphazard manner. Set them on top of the pack. I'm not reorganizing anything. I'm not doing anything fancy. Is taking Retro to Vegas to win me millions and escape the place before noticing a thing count as cheating? Hello. So I'm not allowed to play in some of the casinos there for a couple. I get to work in Vegas in I guess it was about 10 years ago now, and just about, and I'm not allowed to play in some of the casinos down there for reasons that are not limited to but are linked to some of this stuff. So yeah, I don't know if it'd be more of a downside for you or for me, but I'm happy to go anyway. I'd love the trip, and I could help you. I could help you from a distance. So anyway, I scooped all those cards up. I'm playing with the pack. Now I come back up and I shuffle. Now in this case, I'm going to be using a couple of blind shuffles, right? So we can use you can use whatever your blind shuffle method is. By the way, I want to clarify. Let's try that again. So shuffle number 1 here. Shuffle number 2 here, and then we cut the cards back up if we want. We should be able to, like that. We should be able to cut back again. Cards. I don't know if I've done that backwards or not. I think I may have done that backwards. But either way, point being, if I can do this correctly, Yeah, that's the truth of the matter. So let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. If not, I may have to, because I lost track. I was addressing things. So let me try this again here. We'll just do it this way. We'll do it quick. I lost track of it. My apologies. I was reading comments and talking, and I lost track of what I was doing. So let me do this again, but I'll do it quick and easy. So we'll do
And I think
random hand
most
here.
people are creative in one way or the other.
We'll do
A lot of people feel like they have a book in them, or they have a song in them, or they have a TV show.
random
idea.
hand there,
And you can sit around and talk
Random
about
hand
that
there.
all you want.
random hand there,
But
and a random
until
hand there.
it is actually reality, it
So
doesn't count.
as you're picking the cards up, as you do this, pick it up haphazardly. Don't look like you're looking for something, and I'll show you what you are going to be looking for. But pick them up haphazardly, right? As you're picking them up, be kind of sloppy with them. As you're kind of scooping them off the table, don't worry too much about things looking any specific way. Okay, now shuffle 1, shuffle 2, like this, right? And as I'm doing this, oops, I stripped a card there. As I'm doing this, I'll do some box shuffles here. I want to make sure I'm doing this right, so I better not mess this up.
You know, I mean, when I was younger,
do it
I
this
don't know
way.
how many songs I half wrote, but never quite finished, and never finished recording, or never even started recording.
Let's do it that way.
No one knows that those songs existed.
Okay.
So it kind of doesn't count until you finish it.
I'm trying to think of the easiest way to
put it
do
out.
this, and also a way that doesn't
I'm not saying put crap out into the world, but
doesn't
there
mess
comes a
me all up
time
here. So
when
we'll do.
finishing and moving on, I think, is vital. Otherwise, you're just holding on to all of these old works.
Okay.
And I think if you want to grow,
This way I can keep
as
track of
any
what I'm
sort
doing and
creative
not,
person,
even if I stop the
you
game.
need to
That's actually a pretty
finish
strong hand.
things.
Queen. Okay. So each of these have pretty strong hands. The idea of this, in my case, is going to be to pick the pack up sloppy and pretty carelessly. I'm going to give the pack shuffles, right? And these are what I would call blind shuffles, right? And as I'm doing that, box shuffle maybe, just depending.
that cliche of art is not finished,
And cut.
it's abandoned.
As I deal
Yes,
back
it can
out,
always
I'm
be.
dealing fairly. So I'm going to deal from the
But
top, just so you can
have to
see.
finish, and you have to put it out, because
Queen of Hearts.
otherwise you're just the guy talking about your art, and you're
Ace
not
of
the guy
Hearts.
doing it. You get better by doing it, finishing it, learning from that process, and moving on to the next thing.
There we go. Goodness, it was taking me a second to not get so distracted, but 4 aces and a queen. So what you're doing in this case is, as somebody's playing this, you don't need 4 aces for it. It was just easier for demonstration. This time I'll do it in the most simplistic way I can. You have somebody, we're going to assume you're shuffling over, you have somebody shuffling overhand in the game, not doing these table shuffles. You're going to actually have these hands out when they finally play. You're probably going to have these hands splayed out in a way. So this guy's got 3 sevens. This guy's got jacks. This guy right here's got a load of nothing. This guy right over here's got nothing. And then you have ace high, nothing. So what you might look at in this is you look at one card from every pack that you want to take. And in this case, I think for our purposes, what we'd probably want to do is try and see if we could get ourselves like a full house. And so the best way for us to do that would be, as we're picking the cards up, as we pick them up in a way that allows us to put whatever card we want wherever we need to. So how we're going to do that, let's put these back, is I want this jack. I'm going to scoop these cards up into the hand, and then I'm going to scoop the jack, and it's going to go on top like that. So when you're coming up to the table, it's going to look like this. Scoop them away, and the jack is going to end up on the bottom. Same situation here, and so on and so forth. So same situation here. I'm going to scoop these away, leave the jack, scoop him back up quickly, and it's just going to look like it's an accident. Now I want this queen. Same situation. Pick him up. Pick him up. Now if you're picking him up intentionally, you're going to do it this way. So make sure you're sliding them off the table if you're going to do it that way. Same situation here. I'm going to slide these off, act like I missed the jack, come back for the jack. I'm going to set this pack back on top. This pack is in what we'd call stack. It goes on top of the deck. Now, all I have to do is shuffle the deck in what we call blind fashion, right? So blind fashion, I give the pack a mix, and as I'm coming back up, I'm picking the cards back up and doing that. And now when I deal the cards back out, jack, jack, queen, queen, jack. And so now you can see we have jacks full of queens, and that's how you can cheat a 5-card draw or 5-card stud hand in poker. If you're at a friend's game and you're wanting to kind of show off or demonstrate, you can just scoop the cards you want up as the last hand if you're dealing, and you'll deal yourself, in that case, like I said, jacks full of queens. So just find one card in everybody's hand you want and pick that one up last. If you're in a 4-card hand, the principle's slightly different. You just pick it up in a different position. But if you're looking for a quick way to kind of learn how to do a quick cheat and you're looking at doing a full hand like that, that's all you have to do, is find one card that you like from everybody else's hand plus yours, scoop those all up last, and you'll be able to and then retain the cards with some form of stock shuffle. So another thing I'll show you is the stock shuffle, right? Cut the pack there. So you have the Queen of Spades here. Stock shuffling is just the act of being able to use a shuffle that looks normal. Whoops. Being able to use a shuffle that looks normal, but being able to retain a card or 2 cards or whatever the case is. So I'm going to do it in this case. I said whoops because I dropped it, so let's try it with the Ace of Spades. Let's try it again. Ace of Spades stays there. Now you can do it with any kind of shuffle too. A lot of people do this one. I don't like this shuffle because it bends the cards, but same shuffle right there. And then I just pay attention to where I'm dropping the cards, and I make sure I drop the ace last. So here, and then here, and then there, and I just make sure I drop that last. However, if I don't drop it last, right, that's not a hard fix either, because I'll just do a slip cut. So slip cut looks like that. I'll cut it back over, and my ace is back on top. So yet again, cut the cards. This is not the ace. This goes on top. Slip cut over. Whoops. Put everything back together. Sloppier the better, but the ace is still there. This is really good content. The music you've got in the background really adds to the chill. Very informative. Thank you. I got sidetracked for a second. I also can't hear the music. I have it on so that I can kind of speak more clearly. So I apologize. I can't quite hear that. So. Oh, another thing, I guess, and this is another really good piece of thing. This is used for magic tricks, piece of information. It's used for magic tricks, but it's also really good for gambling. I'll show you using the key card principle. This is the Hindu shuffle. So the Hindu shuffle looks like this. So you're holding the card by the long edges here, and you're just, there you go. The Hindu shuffle has this really interesting piece where if you take someone's card, we're not going to look at that card. They look at the card, we flip the pack over, we see the 8 of clubs is there. Now we'd probably do it like this, and we just glimpse the bottom. As we do the Hindu shuffle, and we say put it wherever you want, they put it right there. And then we just drop the top on the pack on top, and we can cut the pack as many times as we want in single cuts. We'll know if we find that 8 of clubs, yet again, key card succession. We'll know if we find that 8 of clubs, that 8 of clubs is on top, so their card was the 8 of hearts. So showing you that again. Ace of hearts, bottom card's Jack of diamonds. Quick glimpsing, by the way. You have that card goes in. So we do the Hindu shuffle. They put their card there. Card goes on top. Pack gets cut. And then we spread it. We can see that Jack of diamonds is right on top of their card. So using the key card principle is nice. I'm glad it's informative. My hope is that it's fun. But also, if you decide to go out there, and I'm very appreciative for everybody who's here. That's just amazing. But yeah, if you're out there and you're viewing this and you're enjoying it, and you're having fun with it, I'm super happy about that, and I'm super glad that you are. But at the same time, if you're also planning on actually going out and gambling, like some of this stuff could come in handy for you. Some of it's not. Some of it may not. But hopefully, all of it kind of says I'm gonna be very careful if I go out there to gamble. So, all right, so I'm going to kind of start wrapping things up for just a second. So I'll do a couple of little things here and there, and then I'll call this one closed. But so this is another fun one right here. This pack actually has 4 aces of spades. I should show you. So it has this one right here, it has this one right here, this one right here, and it also has this one right here. Okay. So if I take the ace of spades, right? Now the tricky piece with it is when you have the aces of spades. This is a fancy pack because of that, for that reason, right? So if I take the aces of spade, I'll set one here for just a second, right? That only leaves me with 3. Okay. I'll take one from the middle in this case. Set it right there. And then in that case, that only leaves me 2. And then in this case, I could do whatever I wanted to. I'll set this one down. And then I'll show you this one right here. You end up with a bunch of nothing. Frustration count. Same principle in Card Monte, but anyway, thought that might be a funny. A lot of people use that, by the way. That's kind of how Monte works when you're casting a card. That's actually what they're doing to you, is they're using something called the frustration count. And it's literally just them showing you a card, casting a card, and not showing you which card they cast. So, all right. So as I wind down, I guess the last few things I'll show here. I'll show a couple of. I guess I'll show what would be the best thing to probably show. I guess I'll show a couple of. Excuse me, 1 second. Had to sneeze. Goodness. Yeah, so I'll show you a couple of I think I said that one of the things I'll show is a couple of basic tricks, magic tricks that you can use to show your friends. So these are just fun. These are easy, entry level. These are ways to show your your friends. You know, if you want to do something quick and it's not gambling related and it's not dangerous, and you're just like, I want to pick up a pack of cards and play with them tomorrow and show someone something. These are just some quick little easy ones that are for fun. So if you just want to do something fun like that, and if somebody is not watching and you have somebody that you know would enjoy that, then maybe you'll get a laugh out of them. So one of the ones that's really easy. This is super easy, and I'll show you how to make the impact more effective. Most people know a pick a card trick. So I'll show you one that I like done, and I'll show you what I like to do. So essentially what I do is you'll spread the pack. If you know how to ribbon spread, by the way, even better. This is called ribbon spreading. So holding the pack by the long edges, putting the finger 1 of the dominant hand on the back, fingers 2 and the thumb will push down and add even pressure. Slower you go, it's harder, so like that. Have them pick something. Have them look at the card. You don't need to see it. As they look at the card, what you're going to do is you're going to hold the pack in your hands like this, and you're going to reverse the bottom card. Now, I don't do it like that. I like to do it this way. So if I take the pack and I really want to be sneaky, what I do is I palm off the top card. I rotate the entire pack in my hand and I drop that top card like that. So now you have this. Now, let them put their card back in. Don't fan the pack out to show them, but just act like you don't care. And since these have borders, if you let the deck bevel in your hands, they're going to think you don't care. They're just going to put their card right back in like that. And what they don't know is they're putting their card back in backwards, okay? But it looks like this. So boom, goes in. Pack gets rounded up like this. And you square it up, and then you kind of show that it's even, that you're not holding anything. And then I do the same thing typically. I'll come back up like this. I'll palm the top card off. Rotate the pack in my hands, set the pack down for a second, and brush my hands off or something. And as I do that, the move is already done. There 7 looks like it's like I've reversed it, but I'll usually cut the pack a time or two, And then what I'll do is I'll ask them to name the card, and then typically what I'll do is I'll pass the cards out like that, and they'll see it reversed. You can just literally throw the cards out, they'll spread like this, and the 7 will be reversed. So all you have to do is while they look at the... Now, you don't need it to be difficult, but like you have them pick the card, they're going to have to look at the card. While they're looking at the card, palm off, rotate the pack, fix the pack. They're going to hear noises, but they're not going to think that that's what you were doing. Card goes in. You can also do this. A lot of people do it behind the back. Another thing you can do, if you do it behind the back, I'll do it behind the back one-handed. Just take your thumb and rotate that around the pack like that. If you can do that. If you can't, that's okay too. But if you decide you want to and you're a little worried about the palming it and getting caught, do it behind your back, and just all you do is you hold the deck like this in mechanics grip. So fingers 2, 3, and 4 are on the long end. Finger 1's on the short end, and the thumb and this piece of the thumb right here is there. And you're just going to cross your thumb over almost until it's kind of touching finger 1. And then you're just using the thumb, you're just going to pull back, rotate that edge, and come back into dealer's grip or mechanics grip. Once you've done that, the dirty work's already done. Everything's already taken care of. So if you decide you want to do something fancy and you want to do something fun, that's an easy trick. Another thing that you can do is, and I'll show this one more, and then I think that's where I'll call it, is using key cards, right? You can actually, well, and you know what? I'm not going to show the key. I've showed the key card one, so I'm going to show this last one. Everybody knows this one, but I think this is really a good principle because it teaches what we call lifting doubles or lifting triples or lifting multiples. So everybody's probably seen this one. I'll show the performance, but then I'll show nobody uses this because it's all, everybody thinks it's kind of antiquated. And in all honesty, I don't use it very much either just because I do more of the gambling stuff. But in all honesty, this can actually be a really gorgeous effect if done in a performance. So what you do is you'll pull the 4, a lot of people use the 4 jacks. I'll do the bank robber story because it's one of the early ones. But you have the 4 jacks out, right? You tell the story of how the 4 jacks are essentially bank robbers and the pack of cards are meant to be the bank. As you do that, you fan the cards out, show them, and then you show them again. And I'm not going to show you exactly what I'm doing here in this particular trick, but as you do it, you show them, come back, put the jacks down, set the bank down. Simple as that. I'm not going to show you all the cheats. Now, as you do that, by the way, you're not going to do there's nothing. We're not going to do anything fancy here. But if I take the cards and I mean, you can see them front and back if you want. It doesn't matter. Okay. So if I take 2 jacks and I set them here, well, you know, I'll do it this way. Tell the story. Floor 1 is whatever. Put a jack in. Leave them sticking out. Floor 2 is this. Floor 3 is this. And floor 4 is this. Now, if you do that, you push the pack together, and you have the 4 jacks. Everybody does it like that. I don't like that version, so I'm going to show you the way I do it. So, I don't pull the 4 jacks out. I usually leave them at the bottom. And I say, for this purpose, I've got the 4 jacks here. I come up, I catch a break behind card number 7. So when I come back, I scoop the cards up, I put them in the hand, and I put the bank down. And I'm picking up jack, 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 and 3 indifferent cards. I shift jack 1 and jack 2 off, like this. And now I'm holding 2 jacks and 3 indifferent cards, 5 cards here. This is a principle called lifting multiples. So for example, if I do this, looks like I have a 6, right? If I come back like this and I set the deck down, I have an 8. I used a double lift to accomplish that, so here I'm using a bigger version of that same principle. So I'm going to show the cards. As I show the cards, I might show them like this. And these cards are back here. Now, I wouldn't show them, so I would do 1, 2, and then as I pull this card off, I'd probably not tilt up, I'd probably tilt back like this. And then I push them back together. Jack 1 and Jack 2 go on the bottom. And then I hold this and I do a special count. And what that is I hold the cards like this. Finger 1 of the offhand pulls a jack from the bottom. Finger 2 pulls another jack from the bottom. And the thumb pulls the jack from the top, like this. Behind the jack of diamonds are 3 indifferent cards, but it doesn't look like that. So what you need are 2 jacks on the top, 2 jacks on the bottom, 3 indifferent cards in the middle. and you do this and it looks like you have jacks, and then you push down and I can hold this one-handed and it looks pretty fair. The 3 indifferent cards are right here. Okay, as I do that, I say, okay, if I were to set these jacks... Wait, hold on. I'll do it differently. I pick the jacks back up. All I'm doing is I'm reordering the jacks from this position to this position where there are 4 jacks and 3 indifferent cards, but I have to have a reason for doing that. I can't just do it. Right? You can't just shift. That's weird, right? Why would you do that? So you say, okay, well, if I did that, well, hold on, let me do it this way. As I do that, I'm reintegrating the order that I need, right? So now what I like to do, is say, so let's assume that these guys are bank robbers, okay? This is the bank. Each one has a job. Now, obviously, these guys are wearing masks, so you can't see who they are. As I do that, I've shifted the 3 indifferent cards to the back, right? So these guys are wearing masks, you can't see who they are. But each one had a job. So on the first floor, there was the teller. They were basically held up. Stick it here. Cut. Second floor was the safe. The safe cracker had to be there. Stick it there. Cut. Third floor was the alarm system. So they had their technician. Stick it there. Cut. And then as I do this, I have this card in hand. I put the pack down and then I push over just the top card like this with this finger so that it comes out like that. Josh X05. Josh Raid. Oh, thank you. And Mazen Power. Mazen, by the way, I didn't realize it was Mazen until a raid passing through. Thank you. I didn't realize it was Mazen. I've always thought it was Mazen Power, like amazing power, but Mazen Power. So I've said that, so I apologize if I've been mispronouncing your name that whole time. So anyway, as I put the other 4 cards down like that, I have these other 4 standing like that. I stick this one out, and then I square them up. And then at that point, I can say the top guy was the lookout. However, the third guy tripped the alarm, and then they called him, and the lookout called him, and they all 4 came to the top. So if you ever decide you want to do that, that's the simple version. Now, I'm not going to be teaching a lot of those types of magic tricks or any of that. Really, I'm more of a gambling guy, so I'll be teaching more of the gambling sleights and such. But if you're looking for easy techniques to use that are, not going to get you in trouble if you decide to use them in a gambling arena, that's not a bad idea to know a magic trick or two, I guess. All right, Jack of Diamonds. So yeah, anyway, don't worry, did the same, so it's cool. Everyone did the same, so it's cool. Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. So anyway, so those are just cool literally throwaway magic tricks. There are definitely some really big and intense magic tricks you can get out there, but I prefer the gambling sleight portion of things. So stuff that I'll be teaching on the channel coming up will be the mucks that I showed earlier. Yet again, for people who weren't here, I'll do it quick. I'll do quick run through of things I'll be showing or demonstrating on how the subtleties of how to do. That's a pretty garbage hand. Okay. So garbage hand of 3-9 comes in. I have ace here held out. So I'll teach mucks coming up. Flip over. We're done. That's a muck. I'll be teaching seconds, how to deal seconds. That'll be a big one, which is ace of spades goes on top. I don't, by the way, have any duplicates. Ace of spades. Ace of spade goes on top. Game of poker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have the ace of spade. Everybody else has nothing compared to the ace of spade. And by the same principle, I'll shuffle. I'll go ahead and give myself bullets for the sake of it. Face up, though. I messed that one up. Sorry about that. I was looking at my hands. So I'll be teaching stuff like that. Let's try that again. Face down, ace of clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ace of clubs. Ace of spades, same situation. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ace of spades still there. Dealing seconds. I'll be teaching that. I'll be teaching some handling. I'll be teaching casino procedure riffle shuffle. Box cut, I'll be teaching blind shuffles. So single card retention, king of spades goes on top. Cut the pack, shuffle the pack a couple times. Whoops. Sorry about that. Let's try it again. King of clubs goes on top. Pack gets shuffled. Cut. And then in this case I have the ace, but I'm going to cut to the king. Whoa. What did I do? Did I drop a card? 1 second. I think I may have dropped off the, I think I may have dropped that off in the box shuffle. Hold on 1 second. No, I dropped it off in the box shuffle. Okay. Also the eidetic change probably, if I could do that.
Remember all the happy times we had.
The eidetic change is a big one. Worthwhile. That's Ed Marlowe. And I'll also probably teach the downs change, which is pretty great. All right. So anyway, I really appreciate everybody for having popped in. I'm very appreciative. Getting a little, there we are, a little hot under this light here, so I'm going to call it here. I hope anybody who got to, it's also getting, the more you handle a pack of cards, the more your cards start to kind of not do what you need them to, so I should probably switch. But anyway, I want to say thank you for everybody who stopped in, and very, very appreciative for those of you who bore with me through the technical difficulties. And I want to say I hope that this has been entertaining. My apologies that there were some mistakes and stuff in there. I do make mistakes. This is as much anything, as much as it is a performance, it's also an area for me to practice. And if somebody catches me out while I'm practicing, then that helps me understand what I need to work on. So that's one of my big ones. I'm constantly practicing, but I'm also constantly switching packs of cards too. So anyway, yeah, everybody, I want to say thank you so much for stopping in. If you did enjoy things, now please bear in mind, I do move this over to the Mechanos Cards channel. This will actually get moved over to the official channel. I did put it in the description, so if you did enjoy this and you do like these kinds of performances, either you're interested in learning something about them, or maybe even you're not interested, but you like the performance part of it and you like seeing the performance. If you don't mind, consider dropping by and saying hi there. It's a neat little place that I kind of just do cards. That's all I do there. And I have a ton of fun, and I hope you guys will too. I'm also on TikTok, also under Mechanos Cards, MEKANOSKARDS, if you are a TikToker. And I usually just do single moves, showing off single moves, so that's kind of a fun piece. And in addition to all of that, if you have suggestions for things you'd like to see in the future, what I'd like to be doing in addition to some of these practice sessions is having a little kind of picture-in-picture window and talking about other great card mechanics of the time that I really admire, letting you see some of their routines. Tech issues happen, no biggie. Thank you so much, Omega. Letting you see some of their routines and kind of explaining what's going on without completely displaying everything. I'm not going to do really the magic trick portion, but showing people the gambling stuff that's kind of going on. Other gamblers out there that are doing that. That's another idea that I have. So please let me know what you're wanting to do. I will move this over to the Mechanos Cards channel. If you're wanting to comment, you're welcome to comment on this video. But please note, when I take it off of Retro and put it over to Mechanos, sometimes those comments are lost. And so it's not me trying to delete it, but that just happens. Oh, thank you so much, Omega. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for making the stream so awesome and successful, and we'll see you guys a little later. I'll go ahead and put this on the end screen here, and you'll see.